What you reading?
Unfuck yourself.
Oh. Do you think you're able to be unfucked?
Probably not, no. I'm fucked.
Oh, then why are you trying?
Well, I'm not really reading it. You just gave it to me and told me to look like I was reading.
Okay.
So, that's what I was doing.
So what do we want to talk about tonight?
I don't know. What is it, something fascinating that you'd like to know about me?
Have you ever had your tonsils out?
Yes, I am tonsillless. I did have my tonsils out, but it was really traumatic, and I think I might have a little bit of PTSD from the experience.
Of course you do. Grew up in England. What was it like?
Well, my mum and dad just took me to the hospital in Colchester, which was about 30 minutes away, and pretty much dropped me off, and all I could take was one teddy bear.
Was it Rigolata, Chipolata, Min and Rah Rah Rah?
No, I wasn't allowed to take Rigolata, Chipolata, Mainland, rah, 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 because
You had an extra raw on that one.
she was too kind of grubby looking, because I loved her so much. And I really needed her at that point in my life, but instead I wasn't allowed to take her.
So you couldn't take a dirty teddy?
No. So they bought me a womble.
What's a womble?
A womble is a little creature about this big that lives on Wimbledon Common, and
What's Wimbledon Common?
it's a park in London, and they live there and they gather up all the waste stuff and make useful things out of them.
Are they real creatures?
No, they're wombles.
Like Muppets?
Well, no, they've got like a pointy nose, and they had their own television show.
Like Beaker on the Muppets?
A bit like that, yeah.
So they are kind of like the Muppets.
Kinda.
Okay, good to go. Carry on.
So anyway, they took me to the hospital and they dropped me off. And in the hospital dormitory, because we didn't have rooms, we had like a dormitory. There was about 12 kids, including me.
Like an orphanage?
Would look like an orphanage, yeah.
Like if you were to just show a picture of it, it would look exactly like an orphanage setting?
Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
Anyway, so we all had to stay in our beds all the time, and that's
For how
really
long?
well, I was there a week. A whole week.
For just your tonsils?
Mm-hmm.
In Canada, it only took about 2 days, and you just got ice cream and Jell-O, and then you got to go home. I'm not sure why tonsils took longer to heal in England.
I don't know. Anyway, so we went in there for like a week, and we only had one toy, and there was nowhere to play.
What was the toy?
My womble.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
And so we're expected to just sit in bed all day. There wasn't even a telly to watch, nothing like that.
Oh, Tilly.
No telly.
Was there nurses looking after you?
They were.
Or were they
And
nuns?
No, they were nurses. It wasn't a Catholic hospital, so that was a strange question, really. So, I don't know.
I just heard that they were nuns.
So, I don't know why you should go there anyway. So, the nurses would come and they had to wear little dresses and little short dresses that were
Like
white.
the ones in the porn videos?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't know. I've never watched nurse porn.
Except that if you were to guess,
if
it
I
would be
was to
like that.
guess, maybe, yeah, with a little white thing on their head. And so just before I had to have my tonsils out, they wanted to give me an injection in my bum.
Why?
I don't know. I was 4, and they came at me with this needle that was like this long, and I wasn't going to have any of that business. Nobody was seeing my bum because it's private. And so I got under the bed and I climbed up into the frame and I hid under the bed in the frame, and they were calling out, Nicola, Nicola, Nicola. And I think there was 7 kids of the same name. But other than them, they were looking for me. And they dragged me out from underneath, and then they put me on the bed, and they they pulled down my little knickers and they gave me a bare bum spanking.
No.
In
Not
front-
bare bum.
A bare bum spanking in front of all of the other children, and there was boys and girls in there.
Now, Nicola, I feel like you left out a teensy weensy bit of the story.
Well, there was another time I got a bare bum spanking too.
Same time getting your tonsils out?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, that's the time I'm looking for.
So, after that was before we had the tonsils out. I got the bare bum spanking for climbing into the frame of the bed. And then afterwards, we were meant to sit there for 4 days or 5 days, I think, and recuperate. And I was really bored. And so I didn't even want the damn womble in the first place. So I didn't want to play with him. It was Uncle Bulgaria, which was my least favorite womble. And so I decided, because it was like 6 beds on each side of the dormitory, or maybe 8.
Like an orphanage.
And I just thought it'd be fun if I was to jump from bed to bed to bed to bed to bed to bed. So I had pretty good rhythm going for a while until I got close to the end of the beds, and then I lost my footing in the jumping and landed on top of a girl who was laying there recuperating from her tonsils being taken out. And as I hit her with my stomach, I vomited, puked, and on her, and I didn't mean to or anything. And then the nurse saw me do this, and it was a different one.
Was it a nun nurse?
No, there was no nuns. It was not a Catholic hospital. It was just a public hospital. And so she put me over the bed and gave me a bare bum spanking again in front of all of the people and the kids in the room. And they were like from age like 4 to 7, and they all saw it.
How
and some of them were in
embarrassing.
my school, and they saw it, and they saw my bum.
Okay, so when do your parents finally get to see you? So for the whole 7 days, your parents don't get to see you, correct?
No, they didn't come once. Nobody's parents did. They just
You were
dropped
just
us off.
locked there for 7 days.
Yeah. And then everybody's parents came and picked them up. And I think they had to pick us up at about 10 in the morning. And it was about 5 p.m. and my parents still hadn't shown up. And it was just me sitting there eating ice chips with my womble. And my parents didn't even phone or anything. And so my dad says the car broke down on the way there, but I think they just forgot me personally.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
So it was really traumatic.
So when did they come?
About 7, I think.
Oh, yeah, the whole day.
Yeah, I had the whole day to myself in this dormitory.
Did you get any more bourbon spankings?
No, I only got 2, and then I was really well behaved, and I wasn't going to get any more.
You're probably pretty good when you were by yourself.
Yeah, I couldn't really get into that much trouble by myself.
It's
So
quite a
then I
difference
went-
from getting your tonsils out in Canada.
I wouldn't know because I'm not Canadian.
Oh, well, we didn't get any bourbon spankings, and we were only kept in the hospital for 2 days, and then we got to eat tons of Jell-O and ice cream. So, yeah, it's a bit different.
Well, I got bare bum spankings from nurses.
Or
Maybe.
nuns.
Maybe that's why I'm a lesbian. I don't know.
So I could have translated this whole story into the fact that Nick was raised in an orphanage by nuns and got bare bum spankings.
No,
Valid.
not accurate at all.
Similar, though.